Okay, let's see how you did. Bruno and his foster parents plant trees in a new park. Their budget is $400. They spend 5% of the budget on tools and 95% on trees. How much money did they spend on tools and how much on trees? Okay, one way to do this would be setting up a proportion. What is 5% of 400? I could say 5 out of 100 is equal to some amount out of 400. So how do I get from 100 to 400? Times 4. So I'm going to multiply this times 4 to get 20. This is $20 spent on tools. Okay, if their budget was 400 and they spent 20 of it on tools, then I could just subtract that to see how much they spent on trees. Okay, so that's one way to do it. The other way I want to show is our new way. If I'm looking for 5% of 400, I can change this to a fraction or a decimal. I'm going to first change it to a fraction, which would be 5/100, which is equal to 0.05. And this of means I would multiply. So I can take 400 and multiply it by 5/100. And I'm going to move that decimal over 2 places. And I can still get the same answer as I did up here. Okay, so when we're looking for the part, we can do this strategy where we turn the percent into a decimal or a fraction and then multiply it by the whole. And then we would use that same strategy if they spent $20 on tools and they spent $380 on trees. Okay, let's keep going. Number 8. So to pass a test, you must get 80% of the questions correct. There are 90 questions on the test. How many questions must a student answer correctly? So what we're being asked is, what is 80% of 90? So you could set up your proportion. 80%, 80 over 100 is equal to some amount over 90. You're going to have to do some sort of simplifying. I would divide by 10. That cuts out the 0. How do I get from 10 to 9? Times 9 times 9 to get 72. So that's option 1. Also, you could draw the bar diagram. Option 2 would be to use our new strategy. 80% of 90. That means I'm going to turn this into a fraction or a decimal. 80. I'm going to know that of means to multiply, and then I'm going to multiply by 90. I kind of prefer the decimal, but if you want to multiply by fractions, you can. 0 times anything is 0. 8 times 0 is 0. 8 times 9 is 72. And then we have 2 decimal places. So we get 72. All right, last one. How many students have to attend the festival if 40% have to go? So again, this is essentially asking us, what is 40% of 450? So I'm going to start with a new strategy. Make this a fraction, 40/100, which is the same as 40/100. That's a decimal. Of is going to be multiply, and then my total. 450 times 0.40. Anything multiplied by 0 is 0. Then I can multiply my 4. 4 times 0 is 0. 4 times 5 is 20. Regroup. 4 times 4 is 16 plus 2. 2 places behind the decimal, so you can move the decimal over. And then again, if you want to do it with proportion, you would do 40 over 100 is equal to some amount over 450. I would divide by 10 here and then know that I'm multiplying by 45. 4 times 45 is also going to get you 180.